Zealand Road is open. In the winter, you have to walk up this road, but it's not winter anymore. It's spring. It's almost summer. A mosquito just bit me, but it's time to weigh the backpack. 20 pounds. And why is it heavier this time? Because it packed more food. There's the kiosk. We are here. Today I'm at the Zealand Trail. There's a big parking lot here, and even a bathroom. First stop, Zealand Hut, 2.8 miles. This is known for being one of the more gentle trails in the White Mountains. I remember the trail covered in snow, so this is fun. It's beautiful. Feels like summer for sure. I have gone 1 mile already. The trail is charming. Quintessential woodland trail. Rocks and roots. Gentle incline, going along countless brooks and streams, and a bigger river with massive rocks. Beautiful enough to spend the entire afternoon just there in the first mile. What side do you like better? Looking toward the river coming at you, or looking at the river as it goes away from you? Zealand is known for these bog boards, these raised wooden walkways. It's fun to walk on them, but also it keeps the people separated from nature. It lets you look at the nature without messing it up. I love this kind of terrain. The second mile was easier than the first. You can just walk along. Not as many rocks, not as many roots. Oh, I just stepped right into the water. I have waterproof socks on today, so I don't feel it at all, but I'm pretty sure I stepped right into the water. Wow, the hut is only 0.5 miles from here. The other sign talks about Crawford Notch and such. I can see across the way where hikers are sitting on the waterfall rocks. The last bit of the trail as you approach the hut is uphill rocks in true White Mountain style. And it's a bit hard, but that's how you know you're almost there. And see the hut? says grab a bunk and the caretaker will be here at 4 p.m. They renamed the bunk rooms. It used to be north and south, and now it's Viburnum and Larix. This back room is like a cozy room for 4 back here, and this is where my family of 4 stayed. That was so fun when the kids were kids. And then in this other front room, there's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now it's time for a snack. And this is Tailwind lemon drink. It says Zealand Mountain is 2.5 hours from here. Approximated times and ideal summer conditions. Probably about 1 o'clock. I had a snack, I feel good, and I have nothing else to do. So I feel like I want to at least try to go to Mount Zealand, because that would be another 4,000 footer on my list. However, it's kind of far for me in theory right now. I don't know. So I'll be thinking in the next 10 minutes here about like safety things, like basically what my turnaround time should be. And that's just where you pick a time where if you're not there by that time, you give up and go back. At first it was quite steep. Now it's like moderate, but it's a workout. Some chunks of ice here and there and black flies. That doesn't seem fair. So I'm working hard. I'm almost to Z Cliff, which I believe is the lookout. I've not been there. I just read about this. The Z Cliff will be a morale booster because I'll at least have gotten there. And I could always turn around there if I want, but I think I can. I don't think about that yet. Just trying to pace myself. Yeah, honestly, it doesn't look that bad, but it's relentless. It's been a while of this. I did think about my turnaround time for safety, and I concluded 4 o'clock, which is quite generous. I really should be able to get to Mount Zealand before 4 o'clock, but that's a time when I would feel best to turn around for me. It doesn't get dark right now until 7:30 or after, at least at my house. But in the mountains, it always gets dark a little early. And I have a headlamp, but you know, we each have our safety range. And hiking on a steep trail in the dark, I've not really done that yet. And a spoiler alert for anyone who does not already know that Mount Zealand is a wooded summit, so I've read, does not have a view. Just a sign that tells you you're there. However, not too far on the way there is Z Cliff, which is a remarkable view, so I'm told. See that funny chunk of snow? I didn't know you could see this much. Wow. All right, that was an amazing view, and I wish this was Mount Zealand so I could celebrate and have done something and go back. But it isn't, and I'm only like halfway from the hut to here is like roughly halfway, maybe less. But I feel good, and I have time, so calmly I continue. And it's sunny. Look at that. Look at that. And I know this is the right way, but I'll probably double check my map one more time. This is amazing. This is nice. Not uphill, if you know what I mean. Oh my God, that's the loudest bird I ever heard. I wonder if that's Zealand Mountain over there. Oh man, that scared me. That bird is so loud. Song sparrow? No, I know this. White-throated sparrow. Twinway, AT. Now we know. Z Cliff Trail, Ethan Pond Trail. This is neat. Basically, I'm on top of a mountain, right? Actually, I think a portion of this trail is called Zealand Ridge, but I don't know if it has many views or not. Beautiful intersection here. I want to stay on the Twinway Trail, which continues to be generously unsteep for now, and beautiful. Dappled sunlight, rocks, melting snow puddles, beautiful granite to step on, and green, green pine trees that smell so good. That is a stairway bigger than me. And that's, you know, I've been coming up there. You just can't really think about the whole thing. You have to just think about this step and put my pole there and there. There's a giant ladder. What was that story, Jack and the Beanstalk? Was there a ladder in that story? It's nice actually because the steps are level. Keep going. I'm having fun. It's just, hold on. I'm a little bit pushing it just outside of my comfort zone. And that means I'll feel better when I turn around. That's all. We got a monorail, but it's kind of slushy, so I've been choosing rocks whenever possible. $3.56. And it's a good thing that I have seen pictures of the Zealand sign on the internet, because I would have thought that was a sign. I just saw a sign at the Twinway intersection, and the sign said Zealand Mountain. And in my somewhat fatigued state, I was like, yay, Zealand Mountain. Then I realized it said 0.1. Is that possible? I guess so. How tragic would that be if you came all the way here and thought you were at the summit and got a picture with the wrong sign and then realized later you never really made it? That would be tragic. And you'd have to say close enough, but no. We don't like close enough when we're talking about 4,000 footers. There it is. That is the real sign. And this is the real summit, even though it's just a bunch of woods. And I don't care, because I am safe. I did it. It is 4 o'clock. It is my turnaround time. I need to drink. I need to have a snack. I guess hiking the 4,000 footers might be a little different for everyone. I'm doing it primarily because these are the best trails. Like, the mountains are beautiful. The trails are astounding. And it's as if someone already told you what's the best thing to order on the menu. However, once I get out here and see how hard it is for me personally, then I really appreciate it. And I am pretty happy when I get to one. Hello. Who wants my snack more, me or you? I do kind of want to eat these peanuts. I'll just share a couple. I have this fruit bar, which is called That's It. And they mean that in a positive way, like the only ingredients are an apple and a mango. But right now it kind of feels like, that's it. That's all you have to eat. But being up here, feeling like you're on the ridge like this is really neat. Even though there's some trees, there's still views. Big rock. I was just thinking too how gentle the wind is. So there's probably people on all of these big mountains. I don't know if I can fit under that tree. I did not fit under the tree. I went around where it's clear other people have been going over the tree, and I went over the tree. But yeah, that was painful. Oh, bird. I don't know why, but I thought it would be like Trailhead with Cooper saying, hello, there's nobody here. A neighbor right there. I don't want a neighbor. Let's go move. I'm going to switch my bunk. Why would someone pick the one right next to me? Vitamin I. All right, the cool family of 3 is making chicken burritos, basically. They look good. And I got all kinds of food here, but I don't know what I'm gonna put together. Okay, I have decided to cook this meal, which is actually a dessert. It's like apple crisp, but it's like a lot of sugar, not a lot of protein. I'm gonna add to that this, which is just a little tiny oatmeal packet, but it has 10 grams of protein at least. And since that's all a lot of powder, I brought an actual apple. I'm gonna cook this with all that. Scones baking in the main oven, that's on. Somebody's cooking chili back here. They just made burritos over there, and I've got my apples and then boiling some water here. So it's just so hot here. Feels really good. There's a lot of people here. My dinner was pretty good. That apple meal dessert was definitely a good product. I would have added more cinnamon if I'd thought about it, but I have to give that a good review. The only thing was, since it was a dessert, even though I added that protein oatmeal, like it hit me all as kind of a little on the sweet side, like obviously, but next time I might not have something so sugary at night. I don't know. Usually I really like sweet things. But whatever, I ate it all. I ate the whole thing. Let's go see the mountain shadow. You can't get this in your bathtub at home. All this water is beautiful. Hello, honey. What are you doing? It is time for the kale challenge. Eat some raw kale. This is the time of the morning around breakfast when everyone is cooking and chatting, and people who were perfect strangers yesterday are now finding out about each other's lives and kids and what you do, and it's so fun. Everyone is so cool. Bye, Zealand Hut. Maybe I'll come again next year. I'm gonna try something new this time. I'm gonna pick up trash on my way out. By the way, no cell service at Zealand Hut. Once I was up on the mountain going up toward Zealand, there was cell service. That looks like a moose print to me. There's something in there. It's moving. It's big. I think it's a moose. That's for sure. It's for real. Well, that family of 3 just passed me, and they said yesterday someone saw a bear right close to this place. So I guess that would put the odds more that it might have been a bear, not a moose. I guess I just thought moose because it was big, it was very, very dark, and I heard the kind of foots like if you were taking off from a starting line, like skedaddle. That was exciting, but it would have been a lot better to get a picture, wouldn't it? Why would someone throw this can of Mountain Dew in the woods? Anyway, look who I met. This is Wandering Souls, and I love their videos. And they go places I cannot go, especially in winter, but I totally admire these people. It's so cool to see you walking down here also. Thank you. That was so fun to meet them. Mine is so much like a learning perspective of beginner to intermediate. Like, I'm learning to do this and everything is so amazing. And their channel is like a master class. They know everything. They can hike any trail in a day, and their experience is vast. I feel like I'm coming to the end, and this is where I really start to think about everything I learned on the trip. And this trip, I did so much better than last week because I brought more food. I stopped trying to be on a diet and go hiking at the same time. That was bad. And sadly, this concludes self-service season for the huts. Memorial Day is coming, and I'm gonna have to switch it up. Yeah.